More Victimhood Mentality, Part 2. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the channel. I'm Ty Smith, Model Renaissance Man. You're watching my channel, Model Renaissance Man. Make sure that if you are following me, that you're following me on all the platforms you see above and below. Hitting that like button is how my content like this can consistently be recommended to you. Also, when you subscribe to the channel, double check to make sure that you still are. That notification bell should be turned on. Okay, I'm not going to waste any time. If you are watching this right now, you are returning from part 1 of this episode of this takedown of Vivek Ramaswamy on this victimhood mentality of this particular lady. So without further ado, I'm going to go right on into it. Here we go.
Okay, so how can you say that somebody's being judged on their political views unless you make their political views known?
I can tell you why.
That doesn't make any sense.
I can tell you why. So I'll tell you a story of a woman. I'll tell you a story that you may not be aware of. All right. So there's a company where a woman, she was wearing a red sweater and held Veterans Day at every Friday to acknowledge veterans in her workplace. It was a little affinity group they created. That's what they called it. Now, there was an employee who said that he considered that to be a microaggression. The employer made her stop doing that. She said, okay, I'm just going to bring my red sweater and put it on the back, on Fridays, on the back of my chair. The employer still stopped her from being able to do that, too. That's political discrimination based on this an anti-racist environment we've created in America. So the irony is in the name of fighting racism, we've actually created political... She lost her job. She would lose her job unless she stops wearing a red sweater. I think it's wrong in America.
She was hired before that, though, so that means on the basis of they did not know what political
she was about to be fired. She was about to be fired for standing for veterans.
Your whole argument was that you are
There's viewpoint discrimination in America today.
There is, but my thing is you are saying that you got discriminated against because, or this woman in this case got discriminated against because of her political views. No one knew her political views until she came in wearing red. You are making...
So how did they know she wasn't a gangster disciple or a blood? Why can't she just like the color red? But she's not even putting two and two together. He literally said she wore red and wore a veteran's badge or tag or pin. Now, what if she wore blue and wore a veteran's pin? It has nothing to do with the color.
And she should have, and I think she should be able to do that. And I think she should be able to do that.
Automatically fired her or do that stuff. They hired her because of her work ethic, because of her ability.
Let me just share something with you.
I don't know who this woman is, but...
But yet you feeling right now that you should be hired and black folks should be hired because there's not a great percentage of black people in certain spaces. Yeah, make it make sense.
I'm a senior.
You're a senior. And what are you doing for work next? You're going to do a criminal defense attorney? You're going to law school?
Yeah, right now I'm interning.
So let me just share something with you, not as a matter of...
I bet where she's interning at, it ain't all black people. What do you want to bet? What do you want to bet?
Politics, but it's a matter of somebody who... I'm 39. I've had success in this country. My parents came from nothing.
And he's brown.
I've lived the full American dream, and I'm really grateful for that. And this is where I'm coming from when I say this. I say this to you as a fellow citizen who wants to see you succeed and achieve your dreams. The more you view yourself as a victim, the more likely you are to be one. The more you view yourself as empowered, the more likely you are to be empowered. I want you to be empowered. I don't want you to see a world in which there's some invisible lines of hierarchy based on race or gender and that you're being discriminated against. Because the more you see the world that way, the more likely you are not to achieve your dreams. Versus if you look at the world and see the world that I see, and this is what America offers, to say that you have your own God-given talents, how are you going to be able to achieve the maximum of your potential? I promise you, nobody is going to stop you in modern America because of your skin color. It's just not going to happen.
They do, but okay.
Give me one. I would love to hear one example where you wanted to, where you tried to get a job and you couldn't get it because of your skin color. I'm sure that's true of people who lived in the 1950s. I'm sure it's true people who live in the 1850s.
Now,
I'm also sure that doesn't exist today.
What you're telling me is that they're saying that I can't get a job based on my skin color. They're not going to...
You're not offering him an example. See, I love this. No, let's not. Answer my question before you say that. Answer my question before you say that. Answer my question before you say that. Blah, 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 blah. You gonna answer my question? Oh, you still blab? Okay. I know you mad because I just said you still blabbering your mouth. Where'd you get that dress, by the way? You still not answering. You still talking about everything else but what I asked you. Okay. You give me an example yet? This is what I do, folks. Sometimes they get mad and they storm off, oh well, because they didn't have an answer.
outright say that because of different laws and policies in place, which is why the systemic racism is part of the conversation.
Told y'all she not going to answer. She didn't give him an example where it happened to her.
So look, I think that here's the thing.
Here's the thing. You let her slide.
In the 1960s, Martin Luther King said we want to live in a country where we're judged not on our color of our skin, but on the content of our character and our contributions.
Yeah.
We are 60 years later in a promised land far greater than he could have ever imagined. We've elected a black president of the United States. We've had a black attorney general. We've had black success at every level in this country. So
they can't explicitly say that because they'll get sued. They'll get different legal ramifications.
So you know what's going on inside of a person's head why they didn't hire you. You know this is what this person behind the desk is thinking about you because they didn't hire you. Yeah, you're looking to be a victim.
And that's where the intersectionality of the institutionalized systemic racism comes in.
So that's why people like her that don't get their way, their only excuse is going to be because the person behind the desk is racist, but they ain't not going to say that they're racist because they hold it in, because if they say they're racist, then they know they're going to get fired for it. That's the mindset of a lot of folks like that, folks. And you want to be honest? That, ladies and gentlemen, literally is a mental illness. Yeah, you heard it first here from Ty Smith. That is a mental illness.
You can't blatantly say that. You hide behind policies and laws to say that.
Tell me if we can find some common ground, because that's my goal of being here. Do you agree with me? The best way to stop discrimination on the basis of race is to stop discriminating on the basis of race. Do you agree with me on that? Because I think that if you want to stop discrimination on the basis of race, let's stop discriminating on the basis of race. Can we agree on that?
What?
You want me to agree with it?
Your very premise of your argument was all about race. And he said we should stop discrimination on the basis of race. And now you don't know how to answer? This lets you know this woman does not, in my opinion, she does not have the intellect to even understand. You're going to be a lawyer. If you're going to be a lawyer, they are going to eat you alive if you can't even understand simple concepts like that.
You know what? Fine.
No, not fine.
So at least we can agree that's a principle.
It's a loaded statement, but okay.
It's not loaded.
So I think that part of
it's a loaded
and let me give you one. You gave me a little give. I'm going to give you one give too. All right. I'm going to give you one give too. I think that, and this may surprise a lot of people in the audience, but it's true, and I'm going to say it. In the last probably year, I think we have started to see something I never would have imagined seeing 10 years ago, which is the slightest uptick of actual anti-black racism in the country. And I'll tell you why we're seeing it.
How?
It's coming as a backlash to years of affirmative action. Because when you take something away from somebody on the basis of their skin color, there's no greater way to foster racism than to take something of value from somebody based on their skin color. It's sad to see. I don't want to see that in this country, but the best way to get there is restore merit over group quotas.
Facts.
And I think there's no middle ground. Either you believe in merit or you believe in group quotas. You can't have both. I stand for merit, and I think that's better for Americans of every skin color, including black Americans as well. At my company, I found a multi-billion-dollar company. I had a black executive. Okay? And I don't care about her skin color. It doesn't matter to me. I've had black executives at multiple companies I've built. I'll tell you a sad story that happened. She got her job because she was good at what she did. So I recruited her. A guy who wasn't particularly as good at his job didn't get the promotion to the position that she held. You hear the conversation, what do you hear? It says, oh, she only got her job because of her race and gender. Well, actually, in her case, that just wasn't true at all. But the reason he's able to say that is because most other companies in the industry are applying racial quotas to who actually gets those jobs. Yep. So it's not good for white Americans or Asians. It's not good for black Americans either. What we need is colorblind meritocracy in America. And affirmative action, I do think, is the biggest form of institutional racism that exists today. That's what I believe.
Facts, ladies and gentlemen. Complete facts right there. Man. He did a good job on this. Of course he did. He's a professional. Man, the man ran for president. But ladies and gentlemen, these are the type of things that I say, is one of the biggest contributes to these conversations like this. And don't get me wrong, I love Vivek Ramaswamy the way he handled this right here. But honestly, like Trump said it's going to take black people who came out of situations like that, who fought, who clawed, who worked hard, who took care of business to get in the position that they're in, to be able to go and talk to folks like that. And that's why I pride myself on doing this to help our community because of things like this, because of mindsets like this. I'm telling you, it's a mental illness. You're going to send yourself down a rabbit hole of being depressed and with anxiety, all types of things, because your mind is going to be set that every time you don't get your way, every time you don't accomplish what you want to accomplish, every time you fail at something, it's never going to be because of you. It's always going to be because somebody else, their skin color. I bet they was thinking this. That's why they cut their eyes at me. That's why that person got the job and I didn't. That's why this. That's why that. Now, I want to be saying this to be rude, but I like to get real with stuff, because since it seems like people can't understand intellectual conversation, like in this case, like what she was trying to do, I would ask her, whose fault is it that you're morbidly obese? And I wouldn't be, and like y'all, look, listen, I wouldn't do that openly like that in front of all those people, because I know it'll make her feel some type of way. But I would do this on a personal level, like, who's the reason why you're morbidly obese? Because if you try to say the reason why you're morbidly obese because of the food that they put in the black stores and stuff like that, then I would ask you, well, who chose it? Who chose to eat the way that they did? You did. And the fact that you couldn't even answer that question straight up, that you were already getting ready to look for someone else to blame, it lets me know everything I need to know. And if you're not trying to actually change and come to the truth of this matter, I don't waste my time with people like that, because it's always going to be, well, they. Okay, you know what? Good. Who wants to actually walk through the door of opportunity and achieve things and be great in America? Those are the ones I want to talk to. For you want to just be doing this just for the sake of an argument, just so you can keep on throwing out these points and things that nobody even gives a good goddamn don't care about. People are steady move. White people moving on, become successful. Black people are moving on, becoming successful. Asian people are moving on, becoming successful. People are coming from other countries, coming to our country, moving on and being successful. Black people just still sitting back. Man, if only 5% of us is in lawyer, only 1% of us are doctors. Man, we can't even get. Y'all gonna keep on doing that for the rest of eternity, and y'all gonna still be stuck in the same place you've always been stuck in, just sitting there talking about what we could have been, what we did do, But what are you doing? Let me know what you guys all think about this by putting it in the comments below after this video. Don't forget to do what you see in that cloud right there, if you would, please. If you would like to see the next video that I will do in chronological order, it's going to be up here. Things that I do as a variety on this channel will be right here. I am Ty Smith, Modern Renaissance Man, hoping and praying that every last one of you have food, shelter, and clothing. And most of all, I pray every last one of you guys are in great health, mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. God bless you all through Jesus.